Yeah, you know what? You know what? Now that you're see, maybe that's the part that I have a hard time getting because he acted so friendly, but like I realized after a while that it wasn't real. Like it wasn't like an act, you know?
Easter, all the big holidays like that.
Like you're right, it was an act. It just maybe that you're right. That's why I'm having such a hard time because I thought they were joking. Oh, I'm coming on right now. Just give me a sec.
That's that's what I'm trying to be like. I definitely other than filling out the applications, I definitely spent quite a few days just in bed being kind of depressed. Um, but I think this new job will be really good for me, and I'm hoping that it just kind of helps me further along this career. I've heard really good things about. I'm hoping it's a really good thing for me. All right, so
Oh, there's an update.
Yeah.
I mean,
All
obviously
right,
that was
what do
my
you think?
standard
Do
too
you
if you wanted. I
do you
would
think
like to
this
try to,
goes
even if it's just
way
something
south, or
small,
do you think
something
there's still
for
a chance to like
his birthday, because
everyone gets fed
it
up
is
with it?
his first birthday.
Tell you the same thing I told my mom when she starts going off about how, like, she doesn't want to listen to any opinion that's not her own. If there is no middle, like, the reason that rules of war exist is because if you can't find a way to sit down and talk to your enemy to make peace, then there can never be peace. How well do you think an attempt to make peace would go right now with everybody's attitudes the way they are? Both sides
I
are like,
think
get rid of them,
it would
kill them,
be
fucking, our side is best. There's
Okay,
no
I see what you're saying.
bipartisan effort. There are
I just want it
partisan
to be
efforts
like
to solve this problem, but there's no bipartisan effort. And without a bipartisan effort that can truly carry momentum, there's no peace.
What I'm saying is, do you think like do you think there's do you think do you think an election? Because as of right now, I think the unpopularity is getting to the point where I think he's gonna lose in the midterms. I think he's gonna lose the House and the Senate. Do you think there's gonna be another election?
What do you mean?
Do you think the people's ability to
sending you
freely
guys
vote
photos of all of his
has been
photo
compromised?
albums.
Like, do you think the Democrats can come back with all as drastic as the changes have been these last few months?
I think there's no hope, considering most of the people I talk to about this don't understand that we were a democratic republic at the beginning. You and I have never had that problem. Like, you went to the same fucking history class as I did.
I mean, we read the same thing. It was just it wasn't like we went to class. We just read a thing. It like, oh, that's
Yeah,
what you meant. You know, like holy shit.
we're a democratic republic, and the problem that I'm seeing here is not necessarily a loss in the democratic republic or anything like that. It's a loss in the idea that people understand what they're doing or talking about. How are you going to sit there and claim that your rights are being violated when you don't understand your fucking rights to begin with? You know how many times I've had to argue with somebody who are like, oh, the vote got stolen, and I had to explain to them the popular vote doesn't matter. What you're describing, our founding fathers described as the tyranny of the masses. The problem is that the elected officials did not vote with their constituents, and you have a power to do something about that by not voting for them again or by making your displeasure very clear and sanctioning them. However, your district can do that because that is a thing you can do where if you get enough support in your district, you can just straight up say, "Hey, we're taking you out of office as our elected representative before your term is up." How many times have you heard somebody call for holding those elected councilors responsible?
Never. And I think it's kind of like, I think it's a joke. If you were like, I'm gonna go to a city council meeting, I think your friends would look at you like you're a retard. Like that's how it's seen, you know?
But that's exactly how you solve it. You give them real consequences for violating the wishes of their constituents. If you can't bother to go there and express your displeasure at their at their inability to respect their people's opinions on a matter before they vote, and there's no threat to take them out of office for it, then what reason do they have to not just take the money from that fucking CEO over there and vote how he wants?
So let me get this straight. What you're saying is that people are gonna vote, and he is gonna lose the House and the Senate, but he's just gonna exert executive and judicial power, which he has complete and total hold on.
It's been a slippery slope of executive power since George Bush started doing.
Are you saying civil war?
Executive orders. With who against who, Jim?
The House and the Senate.
At this point, I know, but at this point, the poor Republicans are starting to understand that they're not on the same side as the fucking rich Republicans, but they're too fucking hateful and vain to side with the liberals. If we do start a civil war, my only hope is that the liberal side will at least be united, while the fucking Republican side is going to be fractious and full of factions.
No, the right side's pretty united on one thing, and that's America and beer and machine guns.
And the problem is what they do with those machine guns. Again, the poor Republicans are starting to understand that these people they voted in and don't have their best interest in heart.
Are they though?
I'm finding it.
Are they?
Dude, I keep seeing all this shit in Texas about like how terrible it is. People died in the flood, and like that sucks and all. But I'm gonna say the same shit I said when people were freezing to death.
I've heard people blame Joe Biden.
You had some socialist infrastructure? Don't you wish you had some fucking, big
FEMA?
Government program that was designed to come for disaster relief?
Oh, you mean like FEMA? The thing that we're using, the funds that we're using to build a concentration camp in fucking Florida right now?
That's why I'm sitting here just like, I can't feel bad for them. I cannot give a shit.
I can because they didn't. I'm pretty sure they didn't vote for that. I'm pretty sure the people there were like, "Oh, they're gonna give a shit about us if something happens." I don't think they voted for like heartlessness. You know?
They voted in the elected officials who voted in for heartlessness time and time again. Again.
You know what Ted Cruz was doing yesterday?
Allow them. What was he doing?
He was in Greece. He was at the Colosseum taking a vacation with his family. That's the senator of the state.
He did that during the big freeze.
They elected him. Consequences, Jim.
That's crazy.
How long in your update?
Oh, it's done. Sorry, I was smoking weed too, and
no, I was just double checking because I was gonna.
Wait, is your mom freaking out too?
Oh, she's angry about all this shit. I end up not being able to have talks with her a lot because I am an actual definition of a constitutionalist, which I very much don't like calling myself because the modern definition has turned into something very different. I firmly believe like the Second Amendment shouldn't be infringed, but I also believe that if it's not relevant anymore, then there exists like statutes in there to change it. And at this point, I'm pretty sure they could probably get the results that like the support they need to change it if they wanted to amend it. My issue isn't that they want to change or they want to like make gun control. My issue is that they don't address the first law that should be preventing them from doing that, because that law should supersede any others. It's incredibly frustrating to me to have a talk with anybody in politics when I feel like most people don't actually know how our fucking system works. And people shouting like, "Oh, they stole the election! They stole the election!" I'm like, no, they paid representatives to elect for them. That's technically legal.
And it's also
And they're
technically
supposed to-
legal to, you know, move district lines over and over again
Cheers, Amber.
to fuck with your opponent. We
Doesn't
let
make it
that
right.
happen.
I agree.
I mean, we allowed that. We gave him the right to do that. They voted.
Your mic just cut out. I heard your vote and then nothing.
They voted all that shit in.
Yeah. And it goes back full circle to what we were talking about political consequences. There are no political consequences. Like, the only real consequences people have been seeing is somebody lashing out and trying to shoot somebody, or that one lady who actually got like murdered or whatever. But how often does that kind of thing truly happen?
I was gonna say.
At least here in the US. How often are there truly consequences for their greed or fucking hatefulness or their refusal to play by any sort of rules that they're supposed to be prescribed to?
I think the thing is, it's not good for either side, but I think it's gonna start degenerating. It's gonna start getting violent eventually. Someone's
Already
not gonna
getting
be.
violence,
They're
it's
gonna-
just minor.
Eventually, someone's gonna start shooting.
Yeah. But you know what really pisses me off, Artie? That guy who ambushed the firefighters. What the fuck did firefighters ever do to you?
He was crazy, wasn't he? He was crazy. He was a crazy.
Yeah. So, check it out, check it out. I expanded our base. With the Assault Doctor, I figure we needed a lot more space.
This thing is chunky.
Yeah, 4-seater with 1,000 pounds of cargo. I'll bring you on the tour, Jim. So instead of the generator room, it's more like a generator mezzanine. Production floor, I moved. We have our first large water cistern. This is blood production and spice production. We have 4 death stills now. And this is where corpses go, if you are able to collect corpses. Workshop's pretty much the same, but I replaced the 2 smaller generators with a second big one. They're both running aluminum right now. And the garage, I kept our offices, but you can't really drive the big vehicle through this side of the garage anymore. Still some basic storage and stuff down here. If this is your bike, could you move it down to the other area? You can keep it up there if you want, but there's tons of space now.
I have absolutely no access to that. That is not.
Then it's Shiro's. Then it's Shiro's or his buddies. It's all good. But yeah, I'm also going to leave this buggy for everyone, but I'm gonna end up upgrading to another buggy soon. So I wanted a bunch of space for everything. What do you think of all the redesigns?
Just chilling. I like it. It's more intuitive.
Yeah, easier to get around in my opinion. It's because again, like what we had before was like halfway under construction, Jim. It was an unfinished base. Now there's less security, but we're also not in a PvP area, and as long as the external security is good, then we're good. But I'm liking it.
Just chilling. I like it. No, I like it. No. It's fucking huge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I shortened this section of the roof though, so that I could expand the upper part of the shield. less space for these water collection units, but I honestly think I might end up scrapping them because those corpse stills are just really good. Want to join me for a run for fuel and corpses?
Corpses?
Corpses, yeah. We extract water from corpses now.
Let me see if
Unless you have something you need doing, we still got plenty of them.
I was gonna do journeys and fucking and missions until I got to a point where I could start getting corpses.
Which trial of Akel are you on? I'm assuming you're on the Trials of Akel if you're still need to do the death still
I
thing.
think I'm down the last trial of April.
7th trial?
Yeah. No, I finished it. I'm on the one right after.
Oh, okay. What's the quest called?
The footsteps on the front.
Oh, that's gonna be annoying for you. There's puzzles in there. I just googled the puzzle answers.
They're never really that hard.
It's more annoying than hard. Oh shit! I should repair that thing's engine. Oh yeah, the only bad thing about these assault Dopters is you can't put them in the, you can't put them away. Thought I had a repair wire in there. What the? Why are none of the items in the storages appearing? There we go. Repair wire. Where did I put that shit? I need that Ornithopter engine patched up before heading out. Did it tell you where you need to go at least?
Give me 1 sec. I was just doing some upgrades.
Huh?
I was doing some upgrades. Give me 1 sec. Sorry.
No worries. I've got hundreds of aluminum ingots processing right now. And then I'll be crafting around half of them into duraluminum.
Is there any way you can get me an upgraded cutter ray?
Here.
Well, I'm using an improvised one, so anything will be better at this point.
I'll make you a Mark IV, only because I don't even have a Mark V yet.
Okay. That's fine.
I need to find where to get thermoelectric coolers.
Pretty sure I'm at Mark IV technology.
Well, I'm in the Mark Vs. My Holtzman shield's a Mark V. Wait, do you want my old Mark IV Holtzman, or do you have one?
I have a Mark III thing.
Oh, well, no. Sorry, mine was a Mark III. Whoops.
What else goes on the belt?
Maybe that's why I kept getting shredded.
What else goes on that battery pack belt?
I don't know. I'm gonna Google it. Future content not being used for anything right now.
Thought I had something in it earlier.
I don't know. I can't find anything on a Google search other than people speculating future content. But yeah, you were right to ask for that cut array before going in there. If I remember right, there's a area in the back where you have to carve through granite walls to get to the end. I'm just curious if it'll let me go in with you. I know I can't join you on any of the spice visions, but pretty sure this is different. How did I put that repair?
The glow tubes. One of the glow tubes gets attached there. That's right. The personal light.
Did not know that.
The Sandflies Carver?
Wait, no, because the glow tube is the same slot as the personal light, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the utilities belt?
Yeah, but the
You can
one on the
put
very
s-
bottom, if you try to equip a glow tube, it'll just take the same spot that the light takes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the menu I'm talking, the utility menu.
Yeah, but the one on the very bottom, where the next to where the boots are, that's the only one I don't have filled.
I don't know. There's also a cut array apparently. It's called the Sandflies Carver. That I
What?
think can go in the utility belt.
That makes no sense. Then how do you equip it?
There's probably just a button that you press. Sandflies Carver.
Steam engine. What? Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, and I left a big open space there for taller machinery.
Alright, let's go. Sorry about that.
Huh?
Let's do it.
Give me 1 second. I'm just making some repair wire. I need to repair the engine of that scout thopter, put it away, and then we can take my assault thopter if you have a destination. Pretty sure I know where it is if you don't.
Cut array?
It's in the survival crafter. This one. We got plenty of stuff right now for building things at the aluminum tier.
Can I get some boots and gloves?
Sure, give me a sec.
Boots and
Boots and cats indeed. There we go. Sorry, pain in the ass, but I needed to repair the engine and generator of my scout thopter. Come over here. My old stillsuit gloves are in here.
relax.
This one on the right. My bad. And as for boots, here is a set of native stillsuit boots. What tier of mask are you on?
Flavor stillsuit mask, the orange one?
I'm making you a native stillsuit mask. And what kind of still suit is that?
The Rob?
Jesus. Here's a native still suit. Like the one you got swallowed in.
Let's hope I don't get swallowed in this one.
Speaking of which, I need to go out into the desert naked at one point so I can go get my worm tooth.
How many can you get? Is it just a one-time thing?
No, you get them every time, but you only get one at a time. You can make your Chris knife, and then the Chris knife is a one-shot kill on any enemy you can stab, but it breaks right afterwards, so people use them as oh shit weapons in PvP.
Chris?
Dueling with Chris knives is whoever hits first wins.
Chris?
Yeah. The ones made out of the worm tooth.
How do you make a Chris?
If you did the Trials of Akel, then you should have gotten it. Worms. Hold on. Go into your crafting. In your the same menu, go to your map. Go to the weapons tab, and there should be something there. It takes a worm's tooth and a plant fiber. It's called an unfixed Chris knife.
Oh, shit.
You cannot drop it or it breaks. It's bound to you, and it's a one-shot, one-kill, one-time use weapon.
Chilling. Okay. Legit. Thank you
Yeah.
for listening.
Look at how many generators we're running now. So much fuel, Artie. Each of these fills up with 500 units.
We filmed it a couple times.
You shouldn't need to. These things have 20 days worth of fuel in them. Do you have a destination for us, Artie?
Yeah. Second.
Here. Can you get in?
We'll show you the.
Huh? You need to find Sietch Tarl, right?
I think it's somewhere here in the eastern shield wall. I want to say.
I have it marked on my map. Just hop in.
Am I right though? I want to say it's I'm in.
It's actually the southern bit of the western shield wall on the northern border of Udom. If you find Shield Wall Command, it's almost directly south and very slightly east on the southern end of that cliff face. It's a crevice in the wall.
All right. I think we're talking about this. Let's do it.
How cool is this that we've got a transport one now?
How much gas is it?
A lot more than the others. But don't worry, I've been supplying fuel for the base and the Thopters. Just, if you need fuel, take it. Don't worry about that. If I'm gonna be guild master, I need to do some things for you guys. Also, if you need coin, at this point, I'm pretty much just going to share my funds with the guild, and I have nearly 200,000 Solari saved up. Probably won't give you money for ridiculous things, but if you have something you really need that's money, just ask. Once we get all of our gears and everything solidly into the duraluminum tier and I finish all the stuff on my base that I needed to do, like transferring all the storage containers into the aluminum ones, transferring everything over into them, getting rid of all the little water tanks and replacing them with more large water tanks, stuff like that. I'm gonna start exploring the deep desert in earnest. That's a spice detonation. Close by, too. But not why we're here. I also haven't taken this thing out for a spin with its rocket launchers equipped yet. It goes in the same slot as the storage unit, and I just like the idea that I have one if I need to go make a combat run. I haven't even built any rockets yet. If it doesn't let me join you, I'm just gonna go for another aluminum run, and then you can just let me know when you're done and I'll come pick you up. The entrance to CH Taro. Yes, no? Damn. I was hoping to park it somewhere sheltered. You right in front of the crevice. Over here. This little breach in the wall. I'm gonna go put the assault Doppler back. 'Cause I didn't realize I wouldn't be able to get into the crevice with it. Or I would have just had us take our scouts. Oh well. My own fault, and it's me who's trying to tag along with you, so... just don't open the big door without me. Because I think if I'm not with you at that point, I definitely won't be able to join. Shiro's 1,500 meters south of me. Are you in the U-dome or the radiation area, Shiro? Suppose you could be in Mysotaro, too.
What am I supposed to do? I'm at the end here.
Huh?
Do I climb up?
You're supposed to go into it, right?
I'm here. It's a dead end.
1 second.
Wait, is it on top?
Hold on, no, I might have brought you to the wrong siege. I think you were right about the eastern. Yeah, it's Siege Talab on the southern bit of the eastern. Shiro is just south of Siege. If you look on the map where Shiro is,
Yeah.
it's a cave just north of there,
Yeah, that's where my
right
fucking
across the
thing is
border.
at. My,
Well, I'll meet you there, I guess. Sorry.
You just abandoned me here?
You have your Thopter with you, don't you? Yeah, I was going back to put this away because I didn't realize I wouldn't be able to park it in the crevice. Not gonna leave my Assault Thopter out for a sandstorm, you know? I was gonna drop it off and then come back in my Scout Thopter so I could go in the cave with you. It was also probably just vanity to bring you there in the first place. I enjoy having a passenger cabin. That was the first time I had somebody in my passenger seat.
Am I out of fuel?
I've got plenty with me.
I might have to.
Do you need me? Let me know if you need me to come make a fuel run with you. And by that I mean bring you fuel. Say again?
Find out in a second.
Yes, I hear you, Worm. Somebody pissed you off. I'm busy.
Oh, I had some fuel. I knew I was out of it.
And I'll meet you at the cave. And a jackass builds the base right next to that. Come to me instead of the cave marker, because it's actually at the bottom part of the. I'm at the entrance to the cave. Not sure if this is a waste of time for me to come with you and try, but I'm gonna try anyway. Also, Shiro, these triple shot rifles we have don't have scopes. That's even better. It's just a battle rifle. Love it. So
I know, I have one too.
that, see, already, this is a semi-automatic weapon, but it fires 3 projectiles at a time. 271 fucking damage with one hit.
And the poisons.
I can poison somebody through their shield in one shot. 3 darts at the same time? That's ridiculous. Burns through more ammo, but it's also nicer. See? Why that dude on the runway? see it. I guided you in. If I ever lose this still suit, I might see if I can buy one on the player market. It's just so nice. It's an armored still suit, Artie.
You get it.
You get it for completing the, it's only the chess piece, but you get it for completing the, planetologist quest lines. I finished the questing for planetologist and trooper. That burst rifle I gave you is from the trooper quest.
That's to find by hand.
And this chess piece is from the, what do you call it? Is from the, planetologist guy.
A little bit down. I can't.
Shiro's talking to someone in game. Don't mind him. There's nothing down here. I checked thoroughly. I think there's a few goodies around here, though. Enemies, too. Why are you shooting at me? I just dropped 2 guys for you.
I thought you were there. Where are my goddamn items?
Huh?
Alright, sounds good.
I need all my items.
What do you mean? What? Oh, yeah. There's some great loot on these guys. They got still suit tubing, sand trout leather, bandages. Always use more bandages. I remember looting stuff here, but I might have been looting people. And blood. Lots of blood. You know, what the fuck am I doing? I could solve this in a moment. Nope, but there's a few more people up ahead. I just used my hand scanner.
Placing my hand on the projector.
We are the people of Misr. We have known flight and death. The young go on that our people shall not die.
This is the part where it might let me go with you and it might not. It doesn't let me. I might just go kill some Atreides for fun. Mostly for the parts I get there. I just want to see how this rifle chalks up to the other shit.
That's a lot of power for you. That's a lot of power for you.
Are you talking about my generators?
I don't know, for whatever I was destroying.
Ah.
I'm helping the guy farm aluminium.
Ah.
We grew soft, Wally.
If it doesn't let me
So
join
God
Artie, I might
brought
go
us the
see
weight
if I
of
can help you guys
cleanliness to prepare
load
for
up
the
some
typhoon.
aluminum in my thopter for the guy.
Name the planet where we lost our way.
We got tons being processed back at the base, so I could spare a run for him.
On our wanderings, we came to a planet devoid of gods, where war was constant and violence was religion. Have you learned its name, Wally? We remember the slave cribs where we were held, weeded out, persecuted. Do you remember too? The thread of the past was carried by
Why does it have 4
until we
barrels if it
found the
fires 3
poison
things?
drug. One of the cursed
I know,
planets
this big barrel
was a
in the middle,
blessing
this is
for
just like
Alcyone.
mag rails.
So many planets across so many
I
centuries.
see.
Our people broke
More
apart.
of a railgun.
Split. A long journey, young Wally.
Well, I suppose they're all
But we are
railguns. They
almost
fire
home.
darts.
The time of Mihna has ended. Young
My
Wally.
helicopter
trust
doesn't
within
have
and seek your
a
Ummah.
storage thing. That's the boost. The
You use the boost to get through.
oh, it's right here.
Let me know if you get past the door, or when you get past the door, Artie. So, I know if it lets me in or not. What the fuck are all these missiles doing here?
There we go.
The path of the Zensuni Exodus is rare and hidden knowledge. You are Numa's correct
What the
cultist.
heck?
Who are you?
Oh,
What do you seek here? Great. I spent 3 years in the bowels of the Arakeen archives translating hundreds of Fremen texts before I even found a reference to this place. And you just wandered in? What are you doing here? Really?
it's chun, chun, chun.
That security door is encoded for Fremen biometrics. How did you bypass it?
I think it should be good. I'm not sure.
Perhaps we can help each other. I'm a scholar of Fremen social, cultural, and I've studied the layout of this place. Between the Moskaret trying to blow their way in and the structural damage left by the Sardaukar, the whole thing could come crashing down.
Alright, I'll be back. Let me... Cause I wouldn't remember what this and this. Let me see if I could join you or invite you.
Wait up, Shiro. I was gonna come join you guys. Artie's doing one of the quests, and I just read online you have to do it single player.
No, it doesn't. I think... Cause we're 3 already.
You can get a 4th. How many people are you with?
Oh, invite the other dude that we were in, the first dude we met.
Is that the JC or Off Dallow?
Juice Man.
Juice Man.
I forgot I wasn't the party leader.
Lol. Am I heading to you or Juice Man?
Just man.
Got it.
Just telling me you're helping me get my aluminum, whatever he wants to give me.
I'm just gonna tell him I come bearing cargo container. I mean, if you really want me to, I could grab the Assault Doctor. That's got 1,000 volume. I'm just a lot closer with the Scout.
Yeah, you just do it with the Scout. For now.
Hey, Juice Man. I come bearing Ornithopter cargo. Well, empty cargo containers, but... Jiro said something about needing cargo?
Well, they give me, I can't give you access because this isn't my base, but if you give me access to your heli,
Then I have yours. The name's Ari.
Sure, can you let me out?
I serve no one. Let's say I'm something of a... And like you,
You'll
might,
be able to
or
now.
more to the point, discovering if that eradication even occurred. South, maybe. Arrakis is a
you're
big
full.
place.
You got 833
And while we like to think
aluminum.
we're at this, they could be anywhere
Come back
beyond the
if you
deep
need more.
desert or the
Thank you,
Tanzaruf, as
sir.
it's known to the Ikhwan Bedouin.
I don't know what...
entirely, but you're right.
That's
if
all good.
we survive.
I spend a lot of time grabbing aluminum myself, but I'm sure Shiro needs a lot. Thanks, Jim. Sorry, what were you saying?
Juice?
And buggy. Yep.
I do. A cheap one that I wanted to burn out before I could replace it. The other guy. No, the other guy already gave me one. I'm just burning out the old laser before swapping it. I'm trying to stretch all the gear that I have so I can jump straight to the tier 6 stuff as soon as I can. I'm going through tons of aluminum myself for the duraluminum. I want to get everything up to the duraluminum, fix my water system, and then I'm going to go hit the deep desert hard for titanium and the weird fiber stuff you
I
need.
to go on Jasmium runs. You want to come with me?
I have to go back to my base for my rad suit, but maybe. It depends.
He has a base right next to a thing.
Maybe.
Yeah, a few minutes, buddy.
I'm only saying because I have like a couple thousand jasmium at my base already. I don't know, let me check. It might have been processed. Thank you. He's a nice guy. I'm heading to you, I'm assuming, Shiro?
You could take it to your base if you wanted. Well, if you remember where the base is,
He
the
just
one that the
wanted...
guy gave me. That's where I went. Hey, I see you.
I forget, is it the northwest from mine?
It's right behind. It's behind Artie's base.
Near Artie's base?
Yeah, in one of the corners.
Worst case, I'll just leave the Thopter full and come to you next time you're at the base.
Yeah.
But I'll take a look first to see if I can find it again. Honestly, I've been doing a bunch of aluminum runs anyway, so... I was going to allow you guys to
Alright,
make aluminum
that's good.
stuff, but I'm not going to complain about you having a bunch of your own.
Alright. I could help you with that too.
I might not join you guys for the Jasmium. I think I have a
Alright.
laptop.
Alright, sounds good.
I might go on a corpse run, honestly. With 4 corpse stills, I'm going through corpses faster than I thought I would. Said behind Artie's base?
Yes.
What exactly does behind mean on a map like this?
You know, let's see. It's behind the outpost.
On the other side of the outpost from Artie?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I see it. Behind. Top down map, Jim.
Whatever, whatever. Fred, I should be there in a bit. I forgot to give you.
Did
You should be able to join, get in there, right?
There's some
It's
kind of
nope.
cult.
No? Alright.
Worshippers based
Well, let
out
me
of an
land there,
abandoned
so I'm
power
gonna land
station
on the
far to
deck.
west. It's odd to see
Shoot
them
these
this far
assholes
east.
who are shooting at
But if they
me.
found this
And
place,
get the corpse just because I can.
And get the corpse.
I'm a corpse snatcher now, Shiro. Actually, I might not have enough weight. Grab the corpse. Can I abandon enough
down
stuff
here,
that I
water
have
discipline
here?
would finally be relaxed. Visitors could shed their dusty steel suits and find refreshment.
I might just barely be carrying too much to grab a corpse.
You saw the message, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's like you guys. He smokes.
I was laughing with him about that the other day. I just love the poison because when they go down, I don't have to bother finishing them off. I can just wait.
Jeez, I'm used to having the thruster on my thing.
Looks like there's
It
no
burns
other
out
way
the
forward.
Power
You brought
unit in
your
the
car,
engine
right?
way faster though, doesn't it?
I know. Yes, it does.
I
Next
didn't have
question.
enough space to carry the corpse, Shiro. I'm just gonna leave it. Go on a corpse run again soon. Besides, I would have had to abandon stuff like still suit tubing, which weighs like nothing, and I don't want to get rid of it. It's great. I love still suit tubing.
Yeah.
You should put a public box up here on the landing pad. The exterior landing pad, I mean, not the one that's protected. So I can drop you resources and leave. Just tuck it into a corner down here or something where you can get without, like...
We'll probably find that a lot of corridors and subchambers are collapsed and impassable. Some would have been brought down by the Sardaukar to deny key areas and resources.
Permission.
Touch the
Let's
dead.
see.
It's standard
Where are
Sardaukar
you,
doctrine to booby trap the bodies of their fallen
I
enemy.
grabbed some aluminum from your Thopter. I'm gonna help you unload. Tell me where you want it.
There you go. We should be able to.
Just stick the aluminum wherever it fits or anywhere specific.
Whatever. Anywhere.
Can't believe you have one of these giant storage containers. Just give me access to this. and I'll dump it in here.
Systems beyond that. Many of these doors also led
let's
to
see.
exterior passages.
That should keep you from having to fucking give me access to a bunch of different boxes when I inevitably fill them.
Lossless pipe system.
That's a lot of spice residue.
Yes. He left it all.
However,
Mendex
all
rattle.
water would eventually
That's the
return to the
one.
main reservoir.
Poison mist. Man, he left you 50,000 Solari. That was nice.
Oh, that's mine. I took him from the other base I had, the little one.
Oh, nice. Glad you got that here. I have a box in my room back at our base that has nearly 200,000 Solari saved up, and I just don't know what to spend it on. So right now I'm hoarding it for taxes, and if I see a building set that I like, I might do a Google search later to see if there's one that's fancy that I can buy. Plate some exterior stuff with it.
The Fremen were known
That's
to
pretty
keep
good though,
large
Shiro. You got
nests of
2 free
scorpions in order to
aluminum runs
harvest
out of
their
it.
venom for blades.
Yes.
That's a door I don't want to open.
I was putting stuff because there's boxes up here too.
Strange to think these corridors once echoed with the hopes
Fine.
and dreams
I'm
of a
unloading
lost
my
multitude.
thopter.
Mothers, fathers, and
We had 2
children
thopters to
beyond
unload,
count.
bruv.
And now,
Yeah.
only silence.
My job is
Silence
getting
this
that.
earth hasn't known in 10,000 years.
The one you have the assault one.
Say again?
I'm gonna get the assault one. The assault.
Yeah, I gave Marie my Rattler. I'm not a big fan of burst fire. If I need a burst fire mechanism, I can just check my own fire and, you know, be judicious
You
pulling the
you should
trigger.
be able to get in stuff in here.
I just don't like the
That's the
ability. I don't like the fact that I have to, like, I don't have the option of going fully auto, you know?
Yeah.
It's the whole idea that, like, if they get right in my face, I want to just lay on the trigger, not fucking burst fire into their chest. I want to hold the trigger down on their chest.
Barracks were through here, I
Preferably
believe.
their head,
And
but you
my
always go
army.
center mass first
It's
and then
probably
walk
for
it
the
up.
best that this way is impassable.
Is it all?
There's some in my thopter.
Our first goal on Arrakis is grassland
You gotta remember, I
provinces.
took the first load
We
out
will
of your
start with
thopter,
these
so yours is a
mutated
little
poverty
faster.
grass to begin. Bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of
Figured
the
it
downwind
would be
face.
faster to just grab some as I was going down, even if I wasn't gonna run back up to it.
You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open. Our first goal on Arrakis
Alright,
is
there you go.
grassland provinces. We will start with these mutated poverty grasses.
Tell Juice Man sorry,
Where we
but
have
I'm
moisture
in
locked
no need of
grasslands.
jasmium at the moment.
We'll move on to start upland forests.
I've got
Open
tons of
bodies
it.
of water.
I'm just trying to.
And situated along lines
I'll
of
probably need
prevailing
more
winds
later,
with
but
wind
right
trap
now I'm trying to
moisture
run through the
precipitators
aluminum I have
spaced
through
in lines
processing, so I know what I'm
capture
working
the wind
with,
steals.
and I can
We
get a
must
bunch of the
create a true
upgraded storage
survival,
units
a
in.
moist wind. But we will never get away from the necessity for wind traps.
I am very
This
task-oriented
ecological
at the moment.
transformation of Arrakis relies upon us to begin. Bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be
Yes,
tested
yes,
on
you're much
how well
less of
you
an
have learned to
asshole when I
recognize the
fucking
language
cleared a
of the
space for you to
ecological
sit.
transformation. Remember
He
your
hated
lessons.
this fucking cat
And the
bed.
door to begin.
For the
Bind
longest
dunes
time, he
using
wouldn't lay
grass.
on it.
Secondly,
He'd get all pissy at me
create
if I
deep
put
plantings in
catnip
the
on it,
shelter of the
'cause, like I was
downwind
insulting
face.
him by making him
Finally,
have to
begin,
like
bind the
sniff the
dunes using
catnip off
grass.
his little bed.
Secondly, Create deep plantings in
And
the
on a
shelter of the
whim, I
downwind
just pulled it
face.
out the other day
Finally,
to see if he would
introduce
use
burrowing
it,
animals to
and
aerate
now
the
he
soil.
fucking loves it
You
for
will
some
be
reason.
tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the
I am
ecological
confused but not
transformation.
complaining because he's been less of a
Remember your
dick.
lessons, and the door to the future will open. Our first goal on Arrakis is grassland provinces. We will start with these mutated poverty grasses.
No.
When we have moisture locked in grasslands, we'll move on to start upland forests, then a few open bodies of water, small at first, and situated along lines of prevailing winds with wind-trap moisture precipitators spaced in the lines to recapture what the wind steals. We must create a true sirocco, a moist wind. We will never get away from the necessity for wind traps. This ecological transformation of Arrakis relies upon us controlling 3% of the energy surface. Only 3% to start a self-sustaining system. Learn this lesson well. Our transformation begins in the plantations of the south. To begin, bind the
I'm only gonna
dunes
have
using
5
grass.
corpses left when I put these 2 in the still, Shiro.
Create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have
one
learned to
more
recognize
batch,
the
and then I
language
get to go
of the
make a body
ecological
run.
transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future
Like, take a
will
baño.
open. Our first goal on Arrakis is grassland provinces. We will start with these mutated poverty grasses. When we have moisture locked in grasslands, we'll move on to start upland forests, then a few open bodies of water. Small to begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open. Our first goal on Arrakis is grassland provinces. We will start with these to begin. Bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open. Our first to begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open. Our first goal on Arrakis is grassland provinces. We will start with these mutated poverty grasses. When we have moisture locked in grasslands, we'll move on to start upland forests, then a few open bodies of water, small at first, and situated along lines of prevailing winds. To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open. Our first goal on Arrakis is grassland provinces. We will start with these mutated poverty grasses. When we have moisture locked in grasslands, we'll move on to start upland forests, then a few open bodies of water, small at first, and situated along lines of prevailing winds. To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. To begin, bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open. Our first goal on Arrakis is grassland provinces. We will start with these mutated poverty grasses. When we have moisture locked in grasslands, we'll move on to begin. Bind the dunes using grass. Secondly, create deep plantings in the shelter of the downwind face. Finally, introduce burrowing animals to aerate the soil. You will be tested on how well you have learned to recognize the language of the ecological transformation. Remember your lessons, and the door to the future will open. Our first goal on Arrakis is grassland provinces.
You share
We
the
will start with
knowledge of
these
a Fremen
mutated
pre-adolescent.
poverty grasses. When we have moisture locked in grassland,
Good work.
we'll move on to
This
dark
must be the
upland
way.
forest, then a few open bodies of water.
Who left? Oh no.
Now we come to the private living areas of the Siege proper. In a Siege community, the leader was known as the Naib, and the various Naibs were often jealous of each other and liked to measure their relative influence by the number of... That's the Masquerade. I was hoping it would take them longer to arrive in force. We'd better hurry up and be done with our business here. This must be the Cavern of Council, the cultural and political heart of any Siege community. It's here that Siege dwellers would gather to hear a traveling crier regale the community with news from beyond. And up there, upon that great terrace extending over the room, is the reason we're here today. A death still. The place all Fremen end up at death, so they may return their water to the tribe. That script upon the platform reads, "The water of the tribe shall reveal the path." And I believe the path in question is related to the secret that's brought us both here. And while you are clearly no Fremen, you were able to pass their biometric locks without tampering or delay. Whatever lies beyond here, I believe your blood is the key. Very good.
in this secret chamber indicates that the ones who sent us will not stop until they achieve their aims. I have hidden the details of my journey on a mimetic film locked within the safe on the wall. As with the security door and the death still, our blood is the key. And now, I lead the Sardaukar as far from here as I may. Masalam.
The fuck?
Oh. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello. You said the fuck.
Find the safe mention.
What?
That's going to find the
Tricky Fremen. I believe more than half the technology in this room violates the first 11 Butlerian prescriptions. Probably more. Thou shalt not make a machine in the likeness of a human mind. And while the Fremen are ingenious, this technology far exceeds their reach.
A computer's technology? Like a human mind?
Yeah, the Butlerian Jihad. They killed all those fancy thinking machines.
Sounds like a bunch of techno racists to me. What if our fucking robotic overlords are right? And we are just a legitimate bag.
So what?
Who are you really?
I like being
This
a
film
meatbag.
is encrypted with a kind of protection I've only encountered in the restrict. I believe that encryption was of Ixian origin. That's not good. We need an Ixian decoder to access whatever is on this. And don't be concerned. I'll reach out. Besides, parting with people is a sadness.
uneventful.
Yeah. Just so you know, on the epilogue quest, when they ask you to fly back and forth between places, I've seen some stuff online that says there's a cutscene in one area. Oh, 1 second. Sorry. Apparently, when they're flying back and forth doing stuff in some of the cities, there's a cutscene after one area. And they said that if you flew your ornithopter there, there's a glitch where you lose the ornithopter. So, if you're on the epilogue quest and you're flying from city to city, I would advise grabbing some coin and using the Thopter services rather than risking your Thopter.
I'll show you a hole.
die somewhere today.
Still alive, are you?
Oh, you're nuts.
Have returned, Offwelder. Then we have a deal. Strange. It felt less like I was training. You have returned, Offwelder. You've already been trained, Offwelder. There are others out there, somewhere. Still alive, are you?
Dip off for now, Artie. Get some dinner and see if I'm still tired when I'm done eating. I might be back on, I might not. We'll catch you later.
Finally a respectable client. Now, you're here for some training, are you? I know what is said. I heard they burned out every known siege. I did not say that. What I think is that the Fremen... I cannot help you there. They bear little resemblance to their desert kin. You can seek them out, but they're as talkative as stones. Arco Village. When Carthage was can be an entertaining place. What now? I heard they burned out every known seat. I did not. What I think is that the Fremen are fierce warriors. I cannot help you there. They bear little resemblance to Arco Village. When Carthage can be an entertaining... and you'll find the prices in the village a good measure lower than Traja's here. I can already tell I'm going to regret this. What questions? carefully. All right. You've got another 30 seconds of my interest. Don't know if I buy this, so go. Also, Anton. Wait. Was it Anton who sent you? At least he's trying to put that espionage. Well, I said what I said for. Still hanging around, are you? Sardaukar, if you ask. Stay clear of the patrol. Good for you. And no escape. I know upon whom it can only have been one of a small number of acts. So I'll keep my list of suspects to myself. Don't worry. You're not on it. Most are just poor, but it's tough out there. They used to have a larger, but like a bad infect when they started out. And I suppose Kerab just, as I said, towering rock formate. The slave, that's one topic. Duke Leto, loosed, and it's, and truth be told, a momentary lapse of judgment in the heat of battle. That's all. Tribunal called it something else. They called it cowardice. Easy for them. Took all of 7 minutes, and half of that was noting who was present. Then the bastards packed up their papers and told each other, good job. But they weren't there. Open combat rights. War is supposed to hold you all in bond to the end. But the thing of it is, you can't trust anyone. Not even your closest mates. For all their talk of loyalty and honor, everyone's out for themselves. That's what happened.
sandstorm is approaching.
still alive. Well done. All this, yes. I see opportunity in you. However, others in my house think you're too chummy with Anton Tolliver. Understand, I trust you, but they do not. I desire for our fortunes to rise together. There is a solution to our dilemma. You must blackmail poor, simple Anton. Easy pickings. I hold up a rare opportunity. To seize it, you must commit.
Welcome back. If you're eager for work, I have just the thing. Let's see what you brought me. My sense of humor has dried up under the Arrakis sun. Return when you're ready to give me what I requested.
Ready for... Yes. I see opportunity in you. I desire for our fortune. Excellent. Anton's honor is an exposed nerve. I also had a local pickpocket, Filch's Kirab, hired to deliver the document, bumped up that here is the contract. Yes. I see opportunity in you. I desire for our fortunes to rise to... Excellent. Anton's...
Still alive? Not too bad. We had a bet going. Welcome back. If you're eager for work, I have just the thing.
Huh.